Real Madrid started in their usual 4-3-3 shape, but as we know, Isco is given a free role and is often dropping in the central areas. With Isco central, it was the task of Valverde and Carvajal to control the right hand side of the pitch, and they did it perfectly. Valverde and Carvajal have a great combination and they understand their role perfectly. Whenever Valverde moves wider and occupies the wider areas, Carvajal drops in the central areas and acts as the inverted fullback. On the other hand, whenever Carvajal moves wider, Valverde moves inside and tries to exploit the half spaces. Down the left, Vinicius was always looking to make diagonal runs inside the box. Moreover, his off-the-post movements were very interesting in this game. He was always looking to occupy the half spaces between Piqué and Semedo. By doing this, he was always able to exploit the dangerous area between the centre-back and the full-back, and whenever Semedo followed him, Marcelo had the space to cross the ball. So, Real basically tried a 2v1 situation over Semedo. This was Real's plan. They wanted to overload one area of the pitch. I believe this was also the reason why Marcelo started over Forlán Mendy. To stop this dangerous 2v1 situation over Semedo, Vidal was dropping back and Barca were defending in their usual 4-4-2 shape. But that didn't really cause much problems to this Real side. As we have said before, Isco was given a free role. He was always tucking in the central areas to stay close to Benzema and to link up with the midfield better. Now, Isco's positioning meant that one of the midfielders of Barcelona always had to keep an eye out for him. Generally, either one of Arthur or Busquets was given the task to do this job. And when this happened, Kroos and Casemiro were finding a lot of spaces and time in the ball. They were always able to switch play and had the time to play key passes. As was the case in the game against Man City, Real wanted to build up from the back. Moreover, in this game, they used the very same strategies for it. They made the pitch as wide as they possibly could and the fullbacks were moving up. Casemiro was dropping to stay a little closer and providing a passing lane to Ramos and Varane. On the other hand, Kroos was dropping to the ball side, often forming a backstay helping in the build-up phase. Now, in this Quique Setién system, Barcelona loved to push high up the pitch, and they did the same in this game as well. The midfielders were moving high up the pitch, trying to narrow down the spaces and giving the midfielders of Real no time on the ball. But Real were quite successful in breaking down his press. By making the pitch wider, they had opened up several passing lanes. Moreover, they tried to create a numerical advantage in the build-up phase. Kroos was always dropping to create a 3v2 situation in the back. Now, whenever this happened, one of the wide men of Barcelona had to press him, and whenever they did that, the respective fullback of that side would be free. This was one of the strategies they used to break Barcelona's press. Moreover, Real weren't hesitant to go long whenever Barca were pressing high up the pitch. Now, even though Barcelona are very good pressing high up the pitch, the defense doesn't really move up as the midfield does. This leaves huge chunks of spaces between the midfield line and the defensive line. So, all of Real's long balls were directed in this area. By using a simple long ball, they were bypassing Barca's huge press. This often created dangerous situations against Barca's backline. Now, on paper, Barcelona started this game in their usual 4-3-3 system, but it wasn't really like that on the pitch. Vidal wasn't really playing as a right wing in this game, but was tasked to occupy the central areas or the half spaces between Ramos and Marcelo. Just like Real, Barca also wanted to overload one area of the pitch. They also wanted to create a 2v1 situation over the opposition fullback. Vidal and Semedo were tasked to do this job. Vidal's off-the-ball movements were always confusing Marcelo. He either had to cut inside to stop Vidal or had to stay wide to stop Semedo. Semedo was taking an excellent advantage of this and was often creating dangerous situations on the wider areas. The only problem for Barca was the lack of a central striker. No one was there to receive the cutbacks of Semedo and even that of Alba. Messi was being heavily marked as Barca didn't have a target man and Griezmann wasn't really helping in that process as well. Even though Barcelona are enjoying more possession and are playing quicker 1-2s in the midfield area, they are failing to find space in the final third of the pitch. They are really missing out on Suarez. So, in the second half, Quique Setién changed his system completely. Vidal was now operating through the central areas and Griezmann was operating to the left. But Real had an excellent strategy to combat this. In this game, Real were defending in a 5-3-2 formation. Valverde was dropping in the defensive line making a back five in order to stop Griezmann and Alba on the left hand side of the pitch. In the central areas, Casemiro was always staying close to the centre backs and was always keeping an eye out for Messi. He did an excellent job to close down his spaces, and so did the entire Real team. Now, Barcelona did enjoy the start of the second half. They were enjoying more possession and were playing key passes. They were clearly the better side in the initial stages of the second half, till around 60 minutes. But after that, things started changing. A few counters, a corner and Isco's shot really changed the intensity of Real's game, from which they never really looked back. Quique Setien introduced Martin backward in this game so that he could use his pace to hurt Real. But on the other hand, his defensive duties proved to be fatal for Barcelona and it cost them the game. Semedo was being occupied by Benzema and it was Brad Pitt's job to stop Vinicius. But he was all focused on the ball and this left Vinicius free. Once again, by exploiting the half spaces, he got himself the goal. Barca didn't really get back into the game after that. Ter Stegen had to make some great stops and they were clearly on the back foot. They just couldn't deal with the high intensity of Real's press and they started panicking. Even though Quique Setien's ideas are good, his side is clearly lacking the nerves on big games. Barca are clearly failing to take up the pressure on big games and this is really hurting them. Moreover, I must add that Barcelona missed a lot of chances in the first half. If they had taken their chances, the result could have been different. On the other hand, this is a hard-earned victory for Real Madrid. This was a game they clearly deserved to win after the way they played in the last 30 minutes of the game. It would be a major boost to their morale and now they're top of La Liga. The La Liga table just got a lot more interesting and we are all curious to know how it will end.